And now to talk about our module of the week, let's turn it over to Martin Anderson Klutz, a principal solutions engineer at Acquia and a maintainer of a number of Drupal modules and recipes of his own. Martin, what do you have for us this week?
Thanks, Nick. Have you ever wanted your Drupal site to integrate with Microsoft 365 so users can log in with their Azure AD credentials and then have direct access to shared files, see recent emails, and more? There's a module for that. It's called Microsoft 365 Connector and it was created in July of 2019 by user Immoreal, though the most recent release is by Boris Dosberg, who goes by Batagolix, both a finalist, a Dutch Drupal shop. Now, it has 5.0.22 and 5.1.0 beta 1 versions available, the latter of which supports Drupal 9.4, 10, and 11. It is actively maintained and has both security and test coverage, as well as not one but two documentation guides available. It has 18 open issues, one of which is technically a bug, but postponed, waiting for more info, both of which are pretty good considering the site is officially in use by coincidentally 365 sites according to Drupal.org. Now, this module integrates your Drupal site with the Microsoft Graph API, a unified API that provides a single endpoint for accessing data and intelligence from Microsoft 365 services, including Exchange, SharePoint, OneDrive, and more. Microsoft 365 Connector includes more than a dozen submodules, each of which provides specific capabilities like single sign on, syncing data to Drupal user accounts, sending Teams messages from within Drupal, and more. You can also use this module to do things like automatically add an event node to your Outlook calendar and invite other people at the same time. It's worth noting that in the documentation guide, the submodules are named Office 365, which is probably what the module was named until around 5 years ago when Microsoft retired the Office 365 name. Finally, setting up this module requires registering an app in Azure AD, so it's not for the casual user. But if you're working on an intranet or similar collaboration platform for an organization that is heavily invested in the Microsoft 365 suite, this could make for a compelling integration. So let's talk about Microsoft 365 Connector.
So when you first started talking about this, I was like, no, I would never integrate with Microsoft 365. Like, that sounds like a terrible idea. And as you started describing it and talking about the features, I was like, all right, I can see how this would be wildly useful. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. This sounds I won't go out there and say it's great, but it sounds like a really good way to integrate with your Microsoft suite, especially if you're looking for that Azure AD single sign-on connection for Drupal. That sounds like a winner. And I mean, I don't know. I think right now, like getting an Azure API key or app ID, is pretty easy. I think most users can handle that. I don't know if you need to be that advanced to be able to do that, but maybe.
Yeah, I would say it's not so much a question of being advanced as having sort of the role with the permissions to do that. There is a documentation page in the guide that sort of walks you through the exact steps. So as you say, it's not complicated. It's just not every person has the access to go ahead and do that. So
Yeah,
I
the
wonder, does it
average
create
user.
users right away? Does it create users right away, right when you sign on? What do you think?
so at least according to the way the documentation is written, it will actually create users as they sign in through single sign on.
Oh,
There
that's
it
pretty
is.
cool. I use
We
so
like that.
back in the day, old school Drupal. I remember like the LDAP module that used to do kind of the same thing to connect to Active Directory, and that would basically there was a setting there where you could create the user and then link it to their AD and then pull in even roles via their AD roles if that was in there. So very interesting. It's good to see these things evolving. Like I think the Teams integration, that's pretty cool too. I'm like, oh, I could see definitely some very useful in things coming out of that, especially maybe with ECA where it's like, oh, post a team message when this node gets updated or an event gets added or something like that. So
Hmm,
definitely some pretty useful stuff there, I think.
interesting. Yeah,
We got a interesting from Nick, which,
yeah. I'll
not a
have to think about
Microsoft
that. I mean,
thing. So
I have some clients who integrate pretty heavily with both Teams and Slack, and we usually use third party. systems to integrate those, but it'd be interesting to connect directly to Microsoft. It might streamline some things.
Go download it. Go check it out. Module of the week.
There you go.
I definitely don't have permission to create an app in the Microsoft organization for that client. So
Yeah. You got to go up the food chain for that one, I think.
several levels, but yeah, it might be worth exploring. So I will be if I do use this, I'll report back to our listeners. All right. Thank you, Martin. How can folks connect with you if they want to suggest another module of the week or just chat about one from the show?
We are always happy to talk about module candidates for Module of the Week in the Talking Drupal channel of Drupal Slack, or folks can reach out to me directly as ManClue on all of the Drupal and social platforms.
Yeah.
Awesome. See
You guys should have maybe Smart Date sometime as a module of the week. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, I mean,
Just throwing it out there.
we're
I think it
big
was
fans of shameless self promotion here. Have you ever listened to our show?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I just said I think it'd be a good idea, maybe because I think that's a cool module. So check that out. Check that out.
It actually was covered as Module of the Week, ironically, I think back in episode 365. So there you go. It all comes full circle.
Oh, freaking 365. Can't get away from
Yeah.
Microsoft ever.
That was actually an episode that you were on, Kaleem. It was the last time you were on the show.
We're bringing it all together. Martin, if nothing, he's all about the Easter eggs.
All right.
Oh,
Thank you, Martin. Appreciate it.
See you next
See you next week.